Hey, Chad here with Speed Addicts, the fastest growing gear site on the web, and today we're going to uncrate the EBC Sintered off-road pad. What's up, fam? Before we get into this set of EBC brake pads, do us a favor. Do you a favor. Subscribe to the Speed Addicts channel. You know I was going to ask. Click the button. Be up to date on the latest parts and gear. Get educated. See the new, coolest stuff. We're working hard here to educate you and give you that first look. So we appreciate your subscription. Also, if you'd like to support us, it's as simple as, that's right, shopping with us. There's a link in the description below to take you to the complete selection of EBC brake components available at speedaddicts.com for now. 2 decades, that's right, 20 years. We've been selling EBC, one of the leaders in aftermarket braking components for both automotive and motorcycle. But we only sell the motorcycle ones at the moment. It's what I've personally run on all my machines with 2 wheels for my entire riding career. And why is that? Well, EBC makes a high quality product. You see, they only have 2 production facilities. One in the UK, which is where they're based out of, and then they have their friction factory, or they have some sort of cute name for it, in Ohio. So a lot of their sintered pads are actually made in the United States. The stuff not made in the US is made in jolly old England. That's mostly rotors at this point, so I'm told. So you're going to be able to count on these brakes. Don't cheap out. Yes, you can spend less on aftermarket brakes. Go chase down that no-name crap on eBay. I know what you're thinking. Don't do it. Pay full price for brakes and raw fish. That's my rule. Now, when we're talking about brake pads, you have a few different options in terms of the compound. And as you go up in the range, you will spend more money. You will have less brake fade and sometimes a longer life. On the opposite end, the least expensive are called organic pads, and those are made out of aramid fiber and petrochemicals like resin and stuff like that. They have a softer feel to them, but they wear out faster, and they typically don't have as much bite. So EBC for off-road, they have the Carbon X pad, and for a lot of recreational riders, people not doing a lot of miles, or people that are very particular about their brake feel, like hard enduro or something, they want a softer feel, a more gradual braking experience that's necessary for them, then they'll want to go with organic. Or some people like to run it on the rear tire to avoid locking things up too quickly. But most of us will want a sintered brake pad. What is a sintered brake pad? Well, this is a metallic brake pad, mostly copper with some other metallics in it, that are bonded together by extreme heat during manufacturing. And because of that, this is actually a relatively new method of making brakes, okay? So this is going to give you the longest life possible in braking as compared to the organic pads. The sintered pads are going to last a long time because, of course, they're made out of metal. They're a little bit harder on rotors, but that's the price you pay. But they have varying degrees of bite and brake fade. As you go into like racing pads, they're manufactured to have less brake fade, which means they're going to manage temperatures a little bit better, the extreme temperatures. So what do we have in front of us now that you kind of understand the range and what EBC offers for off-road? They have the organic pads, then they have their first level of sintered pads, and that's denoted by this letter R. So we could call these the R series. We do in-house here. It starts with an FA and then an R at the end. Now this is their first level of what would be called a premium sintered pad. This is great for pretty much everybody except people that are hardcore in racing. For them, we have 2 more levels. We have the MXS pad. Well, actually, we have 1 more level. It's just the MXS. So if you're riding at the track, desert racing, or you just want the highest performance like off-road pad from EBC, then you go with the MXS. But most of us don't need that. Trail riding, recreational riding, or even, the occasional track session. This R series or sintered compound, base sintered compound works quite well. The 4th pad I was thinking about is the severe duty, and that's great for ATVs or other vehicles that are being used on the job all day, every day. The severe duty is going to give you the longest life of any pad EBC makes for off-road situations, okay? Now, back to this pad. So you're going to get a sintered pad with great bite, great performance, wet, dry, mud, sand. This is made for off-road conditions. Yes, you can technically use it on a dual sport machine, even though it's not necessarily a street pad, says EBC. I have it in my KTM EXC, and it works great in all sorts of conditions. It holds up very, very well. I've also run the MXS, and honestly, I'm not quite good enough of a rider to push things to the limit. I haven't raced in about a decade, so I don't really notice a huge difference between this one and the MXS, but if you are pushing the limits, you'll notice that MXS has less fade at the top end when you really start to push it. But again, most of us will be very happy with the R series for our ATV, off-road, enduro bikes, you name it. If it's going in the dirt and it has 2 or 4 wheels, EBC's probably got the right pad for you. It's the R series. You still have questions, trying to find the right set of brake pads for the front or rear, we have shop-by-vehicle functionality at speedaddicts.com. But if it's still not clear to you, talk to Rider Support. They're there to help you, part of our team, available over the phone, email, and live chat. That's it for today. We'll see you next time to find out what's in the crate.